let's try this again. Round 2 of trying to film this. So it has now been almost 2 weeks since Cory's passing, and I wanted to sit down and make this video, a video that honors him. I feel like I can't just go back into my normal content without making this video and acknowledging what has happened. I did make a post on my community tab, and I know a lot of you don't always see that, and so I feel like it's necessary to make this video and also to honor Cory and his passing. I was not prepared for this as much as I thought I was. When someone's terminally ill, by the way, you're gonna hear Pom Pom back there. She likes to be right near me. But when someone's terminally ill like that, you think that for me, I thought that I prepared myself. I had all of that time to think about it and to process what was happening, but I actually was not prepared in the slightest. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Y'all were aware that Cory was on hospice, and even though he was on hospice, I still believed that he could be healed, and I really believed with all of my heart and soul that he was healed. Cory, people would call us and, you know, want to come see him and send their condolences, and I would literally be thinking in my head, you don't have to send your condolences because Cory is healed. And I felt like I was seeing that on the outside of his body. He was up walking around and better than he ever had been since his diagnosis. But I feel like the chemo played a huge part in how he was for the last 2 years. It really wore his body down, and once he came off of that chemo, he was starting to look like Cory again. And, you know, even being bound in bed for weeks, he was able to get up and walk around. We even took a short family vacation together, and he actually got to enjoy that. He got in the pool. We did take his wheelchair and he used it some, but for the most part, he didn't really use the wheelchair. He even played a full round of mini putt-putt golf with the boys, and they loved that. It was just a really good time, and Cory actually felt like a human being again. He felt alive. By the way, this video is probably going to be very, very edited because I'm going to be stopping to cry a lot to get through this. I wish I could just sit down and, you know, get through it, but I can't. It's still very, very fresh, and I don't know, I'm still grieving pretty heavily. I'm better than I was, but it's still pretty heavy, so just bear with me. There's gonna be a lot of cuts. I don't want to include all of the crying and the, you know. About 2 days after we got back from vacation, he was sleeping a lot. He wasn't really hungry. He actually came in here to my room, and he likes my bed way more than the hospice bed. That thing is like super thin and hard, so he would always like to come lay in my bed. And he came in here and he was napping, and a little bit later on he got up that day and he was having some groin pain, and groin pain that was getting worse. It was actually really painful for him to walk, and so I called hospice to come check him, and they checked his vitals and everything. They said everything was fine, but they would be coming back out the next morning. We didn't make it that far. I actually had stayed up all night that night. I was working on a video, and I'm so glad I did, because I very possibly could have missed, you know. I am just so grateful that God granted us that time as a family, that vacation. That was actually a wish of Cory's, to be able to have a vacation with his family and actually be able to enjoy it. He didn't want to think about the C word. We didn't even mention the C word the whole time. But to look at Cory on that vacation and up until the minute he died, you would have never thought that that was gonna happen. He was, I'm gonna put some pictures at the end of this video of Cory, but there's one specific picture of him on that vacation. It's on my community post that I made. That was him on the vacation, and you would have never thought that he was actively dying. He was doing so good. He looked so good. He was happy. She sounds like a gremlin. I'm sorry, y'all. She's down here making noises. But when Cory was discharged on hospice, he only had days to live. That's what the doctors told us. They didn't say days specifically, but I felt that vibe. They wanted him to go home now to be with his family. His hemoglobin was very low, and even though they were giving him blood, it wasn't doing any good. So they told him that his time was very, very short. But Cory actually made it to a whole month, and I feel like the protocol that I had him on, all of his supplements and the clean eating, I felt like played a part. He got a little bit more time, but the morning that he passed was very peaceful. He wasn't alone. Thank God I had been up working, because I was able to see what was happening and be by his side. If there was anything to know about Cory, he was a fighter, and he fought really hard these last 2 years up until the very last minute. He actually fought until I gave him the okay that he could go. And I'm so grateful I was able to be with him, because I was able to say things that I needed to say. I don't know how this video is going to be. It's going to have so many chops in it, so many cuts, but I want to keep it real. I don't want to film it until I get it right, you know. It's never going to be right. I'm going to struggle no matter how many times I make this video. But I will say that my grief, I'm progressing in it. It was really hard that first week, but today's the first day that I felt like I had some strength to pick up my camera, so I wanted to sit down and make this video. You know, I've got to get back in the routine of things. I've got to get my kids back in the routine of things, and I feel like his passing has lit a fire under me in a way as a mother. It has inspired me to be an even better mother than I was, because my kids are literally counting on me and me alone, and it feels like a lot of pressure, to be honest. But something about me is that I work very well under pressure, and I'll make things happen. So I feel like him not being here anymore has lit a fire under me in a sense, in that way. I hope that makes sense. But his funeral was so beautiful. He had so many people that loved him, and he actually got the veteran service. So I was going to show you guys his flag. Cory was a Marine. He served for a little over 4 years, and so the Marines were out at the graveside. That was an honor to have them out there and to fold the flag. My boys got to see them up close and personal, and that was an experience. When he was in service, Kai was, let's see, when Cory was discharged, he was like a year old. Yeah, because we had him a birthday. He turned a year old in Hawaii, and then when we got home, we had him another birthday with our family. So honestly, he was too little to remember it, and Kane didn't even exist then. So I feel like them seeing the Marines up close was a really good experience. They got to see a part of their dad that they never got to see. And then his brother bought the box for us that the flag goes in. So we're gonna pick a spot in the house to put this, and yeah, I'm progressing. One thing about grief is that it has to happen alongside life. they have to happen simultaneously, because life does not stop because you're grieving. It doesn't stop because you lost someone. You got to keep going. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm ready to get back in the swing of things, and I do want to process my grief the right way. I want to feel it, and I have been, but I think it'll be good for me and the kids to get back in the routine of things. Maybe get them busy in some other things as well, things that we haven't really had time for. I would love to put them in some more extracurriculars, you know, that we haven't had time for. Ray wants to do gymnastics. Kai still loves his piano, so we're going to be diving into that even more. And I would love to find something for Kane. He strikes me as a very martial arts kind of kid. So I would like to do things like that with them now. Just do all the things that Cory would want me to be doing with them. But as for how they're doing, they're all okay. They did take it hard, obviously. That's their dad. But kids, it's not always easy to see how they're feeling on the inside. They don't always wear their emotions on the outside. If any of them have, it's been Kai the most. I can see his more. But they've all seemed to be doing okay. They do have therapy coming up. I feel like it's necessary to put them in therapy to deal with this. Whether they think they need it or not, we are going to try it and see how it goes. I may even do therapy for myself. I haven't really completely decided yet. I've joined some support groups on Facebook. That's been really helpful to see other people that have gone through something like this. Even though Cory and I weren't married, we still shared children, and I knew him since I was 16 years old. We basically grew up together. He was my high school sweetheart. So, and even though we divorced, we were still really, really good friends. You know, while he was here with us, we would watch movies together, we would tell jokes, we would laugh together, we would even gossip, and that was something that never changed with us. That was one thing that remained the same. But Cory was such an amazing father. He is an amazing father, and I feel like his role as a father has gotten more powerful, because on earth we only have, you know, so many abilities, and I feel like his ability as a father has gotten so much more powerful because now he's watching over them. So I just want to thank you guys again for all of your prayers for me and my family, for Cory. He knew that you guys prayed for him, and he was so grateful. And my kids are grateful. Like, your prayers is what got us through all of this. Even though his death felt unbearable, somehow I have found the strength each day to do what I have to do. I haven't been doing everything that I feel like I need to be doing, but I do what's necessary every day, and that's all you can do. You just got to do what's necessary and take it one day at a time, one moment at a time. So that's where I'm at, just taking it one day at a time. But I am going to start getting back into my videos, and probably going to take it a little slow at first. Some slow homemaking videos, because that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now. I don't feel like I want to speed clean my entire house right now. I just want to take things slow and, yeah, ease my way back into things. I feel like there has been a stillness in my house. It's like everything has stopped, and the feeling is very heavy and often unbearable. But each day I have been making progress. So my channel is going to reflect that. But yeah, I just appreciate you guys being here and being a part of our family. We love you all so much. But at the end of this video, I do want to include some pictures. I really want this video to honor Cory and his passing. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and I will see you guys in my next one.